Avatar, The Last Airbender happens in a world that's been through a lot of war. It's influenced by Asian and indigenous American cultures. In this world, some people can control one of 4 natural elements: water, earth, fire, or air. Aang is the main character, and he's the Avatar. He's the last living person who can control air. He's also the one who can control all 4 elements, not just one. The Avatar keeps the world and nature in balance to keep peace. Aang has a big job ahead of him. He needs to stop the Fire Nation, who want to take over the world. Aang isn't alone, though. He has 2 friends, Katara and Sokka, helping him. They go on a journey to learn how to control all 4 elements. But they're being chased by Zuko, who's from the Fire Nation. He's trying to capture Aang to make up for his past mistakes. In the series, Aang, as the Avatar, faces his big destiny by battling Fire Lord Ozai. The outcome of this fight will decide what happens to the world. Even though Ozai is really powerful, Aang sticks to his belief in not using violence and looks for another way to stop the fight. Meanwhile, Ozai's son, Prince Zuko, changes a lot, deciding to go against his dad and join Aang to bring balance back to the world. After Aang beats Ozai, he has to choose whether to spare his life or not to prevent more fighting. Instead of killing him, Aang finds a different solution using his connection to past avatars. He takes away Ozai's bending powers, making him harmless. Katara fights a tough battle against Princess Azula, Ozai's tricky daughter. As things get more intense, Katara discovers how strong she is as a waterbender. She fights hard, drawing strength from her love for her friends and her desire to stop tyranny. Even though she struggles at first, Katara eventually wins the fight. As the situation gets worse and the world's fate is on the line, Sokka shows his leadership skills by organizing the defense of the Northern Water Tribe. He works with Aang, Katara, Toph, and others to protect their tribe and fight against the Fire Nation. Throughout the series, Yue deals with her identity as a princess and her duty, especially because of her spiritual connection. She cares a lot about Sokka, but their relationship is complicated by the war. In the final battle, Yue sacrifices herself to save the Moon Spirit, helping her people and bringing balance back to the world. During the big fight, Sokka's smart planning helps their side win. He predicts what the Fire Nation will do and finds ways to stop them. Sokka grows a lot during the series, becoming more confident in his role as a leader. Toph, who's blind but an amazing earthbender, plays a big part in the final battle. She uses her unique way of seeing through the earth to fight back against the Fire Nation. After the conflict ends and things are back to normal, the characters think about their journey and what they've been through. There are hints of romance between Aang and Katara, while Sokka and Toph keep going on adventures together. In the end of Avatar, The Last Airbender, Fire Lord Ozai finds out that Avatar Aang is still alive and free, but his reaction is surprisingly calm. Instead of getting angry and attacking, he stays unusually composed. It turns out that capturing Aang and taking over the North wasn't Ozai's main goal. It was just a distraction. While everyone was focused on the North, the Fire Nation quietly took control of Omashu, the second biggest city in the Earth Kingdom. They even show King Bumi captured. Now, Ozai's eyes are set on Ba Sing Se, the Earth Kingdom's capital. He's not worried about his son, Prince Zuko, either. It seems like he doesn't need him anymore, especially with his daughter, Azula, leading an army. In the finale, Princess Yue sacrifices herself to save the Moon Spirit. She gives up her own life force to restore balance to the world. Although it seems like she's gone, the cartoon hints that she's still around in spirit. After defeating their enemies, Aang, Katara, and Sokka finish the series together. Katara decides to stick with Aang to help him learn water bending. Aang feels like he's let everyone down, but his friends encourage him to keep going. As they plan their next moves, they're unaware that Omashu has fallen to the Fire Nation. Meanwhile, Zuko faces off against Zhao, who reveals that Zuko's father has been using him to motivate Azula. The battle ends with Zhao defeated and possibly dead, while Zuko and his uncle, Iroh, survive and sail away together. Zuko isn't sure about what to do next, but Iroh advises him to rest, hinting that there might be more adventures ahead. My review: the new live-action version of Avatar, The Last Airbender stays true to the original story and develops the characters well. It brings the characters from the animated series to life in a believable way, showing their depth and relationships. Although there are some problems with the special effects, overall, the live-action series is much better than the previous movie adaptation. Before the Netflix series came out, many people were worried about how it would compare to the beloved original show, especially after the disappointing live-action film. At first, the new series might seem a bit confusing because it explains a lot, but it stays true to the essence of the original. It brings the world of Avatar to life with lots of details, like how bending is shown on screen, and the costumes are beautifully made. The characters are also given more depth and development. This new series is darker and more mature than the original, but it still keeps the fun parts. Even though there are changes, the main themes and motivations of the characters remain the same. It's important to note that this live-action series isn't exactly the same as the original animation. It has its own style and changes, which can be refreshing if you're open to them. The special effects are impressive, and the bending is shown in almost every scene, making it feel more intense and dangerous. The actors' performances are also praised, as they all put in great effort. As a big fan of the original show, I really enjoyed this adaptation. It stays faithful to the original while also creating its own story. I think that's what makes a good adaptation. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, as long as it captures the spirit and keeps the story engaging. The new version of Aang might be different, but it works well, and overall, the casting is solid.